Hello and welcome to another Wineword Italy review. Today I'm off to Umbria for these wines. The area is Montefalco, very famous for producing a particular kind of wine based on the Sagrantino grape. Let's just show you on the map where we are. This is part of Umbria. Okay, here is Perugia, here is Assisi, and Montefalco is near Foligno, just down here. Okay, so that's where we're from. Both of these wines are from the same producer, from Romanelli. We've got two very different wines. We've got the Grechetto DOC, first of all. Okay, as you can see, the bottle is a bit steamed. I've just taken it out of the fridge. This one needs to be down to about 12 degrees. And the other one is their Predara, which is an Umbria Rosso IGT. It's a blend. This particular one, 2008. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. So let's start with this one here. Well, let's think about the producer maybe first. Okay, it's a family-run business. Used to be very varied in their output. They had animals, they produced olives, olive oil, and some wine. But over the years, they've changed their focus, and now it's an agriturismo with accommodation, a restaurant, and the focus now, the main focus, is on wine production. And they've got 5 wines, and they also produce a grappa. So we're going to be going through those over the next few reviews. So let's get this one open. Think a bit about it. Okay, Grechetto may not be known as a varietal. It's a white grape. The varietal name, the origin is rather uncertain. I mean, obviously it's sort of Greece. Possibly the name suggests a Greek or Eastern Mediterranean origin, going back to the days of Grecia, when part of the Italian peninsula was occupied and run by the Greeks. Or maybe the vines were brought from Greece by the Etruscans or the Romans. Another idea is that in medieval times, the wine produced from these grapes was very similar to wine imported at that time from Greece, so a similar style. All of those are possibilities. However, it is certainly native to Umbria in particular, and central Italy in general, and there are numerous historical records of its cultivation in the area. It's used to describe, the word Grechetto is used to describe several different related varietals, and there are also lots of local nicknames. But usually it's applied to the Grechetto d'Orvieto, another beautiful city in Umbria. If you get to go there, fantastic cathedral built on top of a volcanic outcrop, a rather splendid place. Okay, it has a mid-season to late ripening date, around the end of September or beginning of October, and it's very, very good for the area because it's particularly resistant to the cold winters and spring frosts, which happen in Umbria at its growing altitude of about 220 meters. Okay, now the Romanelli Grechetto vines are on a well-exposed level site on clay soil. Let's just get some in the glass here. Splendid, splendid colour, my goodness. In Colle San Clemente di Montefalco, so there's a little village just to the north of Montefalco itself. Highly selectively hand harvested. It's carried out in the early morning. Grapes are then gently pressed and de-seeded before the must begins its low temperature, slow fermentation, 15 degrees, for 15 to 20 days. After this, the wine is refined in stainless steel vats for 6 months, and it's then filtered and left in bottles for at least 2 months before being put on the market. It's not a light white wine. It's 14% to 14.5% alcohol by volume, and as I said, the recommended serving temperature is about 12 degrees. Now, it's a very warm day. The wine is cool, and already I'm getting the nose from the from the glass, even though it's at arm's length. Alright, let's look at the colour. We've got some in the glass. Let's have a look. I mean, it really is a very straw yellow, but a golden reflection there. Okay, straw yellow with golden reflection. I don't know if we're getting that at all. There, does that help? Possibly it does. Okay. Now let's get the nose in. Oh, that's splendid. What did apple. I've got a big hit of apple there. But there are other fruit behind that. We've got something sharper, pineapple maybe, or sharp with a kind of what do we call it? Grapefruit. Kind of grapefruit peel kind of sensation there. You know, when you cut a nice breakfast grapefruit, you've got that really particular smell. Certainly that's in the background there. And maybe a certain sweetness which kind of balances it out a little. We've got almost a honey hint, almost. But just right at the very end there. Okay, well there it is. We've got the colour, we've had a sniff. Let's get the taste. Chin chin. Well, that's pleasantly surprising. What have I got? Yes, it's clearly fruity, but there's a certain mineral taste there. And it's quite a broad taste for a white. Yes, it's dry, but it's not piercing. And certainly there's a nice aftertaste, a nice finish, which is the fruit sensation. Now I'm getting more of the grapefruit taste. In the smell, the apple was the sort of the dominating element, but in the taste, certainly it's a grapefruity sensation. Very nice. And as you can see, the alcohol is rising well up the glass there. Like I said, it's not a light wine, but having said it's not light, it is a white. It is a fairly dry white, and so what would we eat it with? Well, perhaps a fish-based starter, maybe a fish soup might be a good match, or some other kind of fishy entree. Maybe a soft cheese, nothing too mature, something mild, something light, and a plate of mixed crackers or something. Why not? It would be a kind of aperitivo sort of use there. But certainly, it's a very interesting taste. It's a new varietal to me. I've never tried a Grechetto at all before, and I hope this won't be the last. So, chin chin. There it is. The Romanelli Grechetto DOC 2010. 14% alcohol by volume. Serve it at about 12 degrees. Right, here's the second wine from Romanelli. This is their Predara Umbria IGT Rosso 2008. Predara, the name of the wine, is taken from the part of San Clemente di Montefalco where the winery is located, so it's sort of a location name. This, as I said earlier, is a blended wine, hence the appellation. It's mainly Sangiovese, 80%, the addition, a local addition of 12% Sagrantino and 8% Merlot. All the grapes are grown in Romanelli's own vineyards at about 350 meters above sea level. Soil is mixed lime and clay, and as with the Grechetto, of course, the grapes are manually harvested selectively and carefully transported to the winery to assure minimum damage to the fruit. And then after deseeding and a gentle pressing, the must is fermented for about 30 days. Now, to add a refinement to this particular wine, it is kept in French oak barriques for a short time before bottling. Here it is. It's one of several reds which I'll be reviewing from this producer. So without any further ado, let's get some in the glass and have a look at the colour. Oh, interesting. Always a pleasant surprise when one opens a type of wine I've never seen before and you get your first glance at the colour. Now that is interesting. What have I got? Well, it's very clear. Yes, it's ruby red, but it's certainly got that garnet suggestion. Now that can't be aging, or it could be. It's 2008, it's 3 years old, but it certainly looks like a much more mature wine, just from the colour there. Absolutely splendid. I hope you can see that quite clearly. Alright, so that's the colour. Yes, it's ruby, but it's not the sort of bright rubiness we get with a very fresh young wine. Let's get the nose in and see what we're getting. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, mouth-watering time, guys. It's fruity. What kind of fruit am I getting? As always, the black cherry in there. Nice fresh raspberries. And very ripe blackberries. Possibly the ones, if you're walking in the fields late in the season, excuse me, I think there are bits coming off the trees, or mosquitoes. Late in the season, if you're walking through the fields and there's a bank of blackberry plants, and there's a few on the ground where maybe somebody else has walked before and they've started to ferment, to rot a little, that's certainly a very, very pleasant, rich smell coming out of there. Okay, well, let's get the taste going. Again, before we do, let's just check that there. Probably see it, I don't know. Alcohol coming well up the glass. Again, it's not a light wine. We're about 14%. And it should be served about 18 degrees. Quite possibly this is a bit warmer. I have had it out for a while, and the temperature here today is sort of upper 20s, certainly. So I hope it's not too warm. Let's try it. Chin chin. What a pity I don't have something to enjoy with this. That's a lovely taste. We've got the pleasant dryness. It's lightly tannic. The barrels have certainly lent their contribution to it, but it's still fresh. The fruitiness has not gone. Now, possibly it isn't the wine I would drink on its own. This would do splendid justice to something like a mixed grill, a nice summer evening barbecue, or even a summer lunchtime barbecue, such as I may be having on Sunday. So possibly I'll have some of this then. Failing that, if the barbecue weather isn't there, if you've got your usual rain threatening, why not try it with a medium mature cheese? Not over the top. I wouldn't go for this with a blue vein cheese or something, because it hasn't got the maturity on the taste. But certainly something, a medium cheese, a medium hard cheese, maybe a grana or something like a parmesan slices, not the grated stuff you put all over your spaghetti if you're in the UK. But that would go a treat with this. So, big thumbs up for that one. Very, very pleasant. Pleasant surprise in a way, because it's not the shall we say, the greatest of the products they're putting out. It's not the biggest name. But if that's where we're starting, with an IGT that comes out like this, I'm really looking forward to the other products. Okay, so there it is. Okay. Romanelli IGT Umbria Rosso, Predara, 14% alcohol, and this one is a 2008. A splendid start. Chin chin.